now remember what Einstein said. The people that created the problem cannot solve it.
They have they just had where they found $20-something billion that was it was supposed to be earmarked for homeless help in California that went missing, right? How does money go missing once you're in these places, do you think? Newsom confronted at a press conference about $24 billion spent on tackling homelessness. How does stuff like that, and it didn't have to be this specifically, but once you're in office and you see these huge amounts of money, how does stuff like that just go by the wayside where it gets, lost or missing, hypothetically, do you think?
Well, first of all, let me just say, none of those politicians I would want to run my company.
Yeah.
None of those companies, none of those politicians, I would like to hand over my checkbook, my bank account, and say, you manage it now.
Yeah.
So that's where it starts. So they're not that smart when it comes to solving problems. And so I can totally understand how $24 billion is missing because it's wasted. They cannot even show it. They cannot even have any accountability. Yeah. But this has been going on for 20 years now. We're not talking about just for the last few years. Everyone has been complaining about the homeless, but they don't really tell you that this was created by the politicians, the homelessness. No, it was created by having people go and say, we don't want no growth in California. So when you have when I came over here, it was 19, 20 million people in California. So now when you go to 40 million people, you would know mathematically now you need 12-lane highways. Then when you have to, when you go from 20 to 40 million people, then you need twice as many houses. You need twice as much of everything. They didn't. They didn't take care of them because the environmentalists thought that if we say no growth, then no one will come. But in the meantime, no one gives a shit about that. They come anyway. And then they somehow then live 3 people in one apartment or 5 people in one apartment, or sometimes with workers that sometimes live 10 people in one apartment.
Oh yeah, they'll really be.
But it's amount of housing. Now the prices rise. Now when the prices go up, the value of the apartment building goes up. So the unit that used to cost $600 now costs $3,000 a month. But the salaries, the wages didn't go up accordingly. So now you have people that are economically homeless. They cannot afford paying for their rent anymore. So this is created by the politicians. And now remember what Einstein said. The people that created the problem cannot solve it. So they are doing the same thing over, which is another thing Einstein said. If you try to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results, that's the definition of insanity.
And it feels like that's what we're living.
So this is what we are dealing with here. So we have, the city here is not able to manage with this whole thing. On a state level, we are not able to manage this whole thing. So it's like I had to go. We had the homeless veterans camping out in front of the Veterans Administration up there in Westwood.
Oh yeah, right over there, 405 in Santa Monica.
They're camping out there and no one is helping them. So I went and I started making a deal and I said, can we not put inside some houses, little houses? And they said, yes. And I donated the money and we started building houses. And since then, there's now hundreds of houses inside the Veterans Administration and the homeless are gone. Because they wanted to help the Veterans Administration, but it took a while and the city kept saying, oh, it is too difficult to do and this is really challenging to do. I said, watch that. Within 2 months, we had those houses there and we created homes for 25 people so they could move in. Just to show to the city, it can be done. Don't give me this, it can't be done. Anything can be done if there's a will to it with the whole thing.